Vanessa Kerry last night, John Kerry's kids took center stage to give lip service to their father's presidential campaign.
And show that softer side, perhaps. What role will they play in the big picture on the campaign trail that lies ahead? Doug Wead is the author of All the President's Children. He's in our D.C. bureau, can look back to find out where we're going to be looking, who we're going to be looking at for the next 3 months. All right, Doug, in terms of kids, is this more of a role than we're used to seeing?
You know, this is a unique situation. This is part of the chemistry or formula that worked for Kerry in Iowa, and what they're obviously doing is they're going to repeat it, and they're going to keep repeating it. They don't want to mess with something that worked, and we're going to see it all the way to Election Day.
You know, Doug, Vanessa and Alexandra were not in prime time, but I thought they did a pretty darn good job. Pretty smooth for fairly young people. What'd you think?
Yeah, that hamster story is going to go into the history books with Alice Roosevelt's snake, and my book's filled with all these stories of animals. The rabbit fight with Jimmy Carter. So that's going to be a part of presidential campaign history, legend, and lore.
So his speech was muscular, but yet when his kids spoke, and when that video, when the film rolled, its goal was to show a softer side. Is that what the kids can do?
Apparently so. I don't know that the Kerry campaign has completely figured out why or how it works, but they know it helped turn things around in Iowa. It took him from an animatronic wooden character into a dad that messes up pancakes on Saturday morning. And it may not be the biggest piece in the puzzle, but it was a missing piece. So it's important, and here they go. They're keeping it going.
Off topic just a little bit, Brian and I were talking about how family members mentioned, but there's no mention of John Kerry's first wife. How do you explain that? Should have that been brought up?
I think that's going to create some curiosity a long time between now to Election Day, and I think that's a story that will probably emerge just because of the demands of the public and their curiosity. This is the Brady Bunch, but people are going to want to look a little bit beyond the surface and see what's happening there. So you make a very excellent point.
Yeah, I'm too bad he gets credit for it. That's a shame. Vanessa and Alexandra, they were giving speeches, they do the introductions, but perhaps the most valuable asset in this twosome would be the Edwards kids. I mean, these little cute kids, and John Edwards reminds many people of, you know, he's such a good-looking guy. People say, oh, John F. Kennedy, he looks so young. And then you have the young family. Will people make that analogy?
It's going to be an interesting dynamic because the Edwards represent the new parenting. It's a generation of more indulgent parenting. And so we're going to see these kids make faces and their antics on the campaign trail. It'll be interesting how it develops. Grant had very indulgent kids who did all kinds of outrageous things, about the same age. And then, of course, Teddy Roosevelt had there was the White House gang with Clinton. But we haven't seen anything like it in recent times. Jackie Kennedy kept her kids away from the public. The Edwards have them out there on the stage. There's going to be some funny things happen between now and election.
Brian, quit sucking your thumb.
Okay,
right.
Don't be indulgent. And Ron Reagan, it was kind of just interesting. Ron Prescott Reagan coming out. It looks like he switched jerseys. He was with the other party.
Yeah, you know, and that's not new in history among these presidential kids. It's a search for identity. I'm not you, I'm me. There was a son of one of America's greatest presidents who endorsed a Republican for president. The Democrats went crazy. They said, you're besmirching the legacy of your father, one of the greatest presidents of the 20th century. And the name of that president was FDR. It was his son, John Aspinwall Roosevelt, and the man he was endorsing for president in 1980 was Ronald Reagan. So history repeats itself, and it's doing it again.
Weed is good.
He is. Just ask Ricky Williams.
That's right. Thanks, Doug.
Doug, thanks so much for joining us. I love the perspective, and we can see a lot more of the kids as we come. If you want to learn more about that, All the President's Children. Doug, good job.
Yeah, we'll have him back for sure. Coming up on Fox and Friends, Edie Hill from Boston and John Kerry's convention speech delivery. Enough punch to sway the